Cześć. Tak jak wspominałem poprzednio, dziś zajmiemy się pracą z linami. Będzie o tym, jak się zachować, gdy nasz partner wpadnie do szczeliny, czyli zasady przywiązywania się, budowa stanowiska w śniegu i budowa wyciągarki typu flaszencug. Starałem się zrobić dość prosty materiał, ale domyślam się, że dla kogoś, kto nie jest zaznajomiony z technikami linowymi, ten filmik może wydawać się trochę nudny. A dla kogoś, kto już się zimą trochę wspinał, może być to okazją do złapania kilku inspiracji. Wydaje się nudne, co? Mówiłem. No ale tych, którzy zostali, informuję, że dziś nie będzie wstępu teoretycznego i wszystko wyjaśni się w trakcie. Więc do dzieła.
Rope on the ground from it being coiled and tie into it. But there's quite a high chance you're going to get tangles and knots if you do that. So anytime I'm tying into a rope, I like to flake it out. It takes a little bit of time, but it does save time in the long run. You here can remember definitely, for absolute definite, how to tie it. So I like to measure it out from my left shoulder to my right hand, full extension. Quick figure of 8. You can go down or up. I tend to go up through that little hole there, underneath the waistband, and then you go back through itself, rethreading it. Go. That's good though, you guys all remember the figure of 8 quite well. Didn't take much, yeah, that's fine. Cool. For this next bit, normally you'd have your mountaineering helmet on. They're in our rucksacks right now. We'll use them later, but for now we can leave them. I like to put my hood up to keep the rope off of my neck. So we parcel out the rope to make sure we've got a third between us and a third wrapped around each of us. So to do that, I hand Will my end, Will hands me his end, and then Will is going to head that way. And then when you get to this point that Will and I are at now, just put a quick overhand in it.
Yep.
Yeah, that works well. Two strands, and that's just as a marker knot. Yep, up the left hand side of my head, and I stand up nice and straight because otherwise you'll end up punched over as you're walking along. My left hand goes at my, and then I go round like this. Next, and going. Sorry. No, that's just fine. So then, undo your stopper knot, your marker knot rather, and do one more coil. Now you should be at a point where you've got a bunch of loops of rope around your neck. You've got a rope trailing down towards your feet on your right hand side. Drop my right hand through all of those coils, so that rope's now coming out under my right armpit.
You put a couple of loops on, see. Yeah.
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 So some people may have been taught to do this differently. Yeah. There are one or two kind of minor variations on it. So now the way I remember this is, I take it in my right hand, with a little bit of slack, so you guys can see. Push it behind all of the rope next to my body, take it in my left hand. And then right hand again, and I drop it down to my right hip. And then it comes up through the middle. Good.
Once again, I have fear.
So it's over here on the left. Drop it down to our right hip, and then it comes up through here. Good, that's right, sir. And then down through that loop that you've now created here. There you go. That's good, down to the right hip, up through everything. That's nice. And then down, yeah, do that. Ace.
That's actually a better way than I've ever been taught to remember.
So now, take the rope that's in front of you, the single rope, put a clove hitch on that. So can everyone remember the clove hitch?
Yeah.
And clip that onto the screw gate at your waist. That's right. Once you've got the clove hitch on your crab, then you clip that loop. And you screw up the gate out.
Kolejność najpierw wyblinka, potem ucho z pętli linowej nie jest tutaj przypadkowa. W razie wpadnięcia partnera do szczeliny możemy uwolnić z karabinka ucho spinające pętle na naszym barku. Dzięki temu mamy duży zapas liny, na którym możemy pracować.
Got someone in front of me, they go into crevasse. I have my long axe in my hand. They go in, the moment I see them fall, possibly hear them cry out, drop down, crampons in, sit down into the snow, and get yourself braced. And then once you're certain you've held their fall, spend a good long time kicking in the crampons, tougher and batter, totally doable, and make it so that you can free up your upper body to do the work you have to do. Once you're happy you're holding them on the crampons, get your rucksack off, so the weight's on your carabiner, on that clove hitch part. So you drop off the coil, the loop holds the coils, undo that, slip those off your shoulder, and get the rucksack off. Once the rucksack's off, you have access to these guys, your snow stakes. So depending on the snow, there are different ways you can use these, vertically or horizontally. The fastest way to get them in is vertically. So what I would tend to do is, say it's good snow like this, this is really about the best stuff you can hope for. Nice hard snow, it's nice and cold. I would stick one in vertically first. So you don't want it to be totally vertical, because it'll tend to pull out that way with too much pressure and time. I'd offset it by about that much. Start it off with my hand, and then ding it in. Put it in so that the eye is level with the snow. Once you've done that, it's a case of getting your Jumar. Putting that into it. And then starting to transfer the weight. So you get this onto the rope, open it up, get it onto the rope, click it shut and slide it up as far as you can, and then it would very gradually put the weight onto it. So once you've done that, let's give that a test. So the reason I would do it this way rather than placing two, equalising them, and then transferring the weight, which is that's the way it's taught to you in the field ops manual. I would do it this way because this way you've got one in, the weight's off of you, and now you can focus on getting the rest of the anchor really bomb-proof. Whereas once you've got the weight onto that, you've still got very little rope between you and this. There's very little chance of a big shock load. You can really focus on this one. And this one, you can stick it in vertically. In snow like this, that's what I would do because it's really fast. Or you can bury it. For burying it, you've got the adze here, which is about the right width.
Brennan, strong.
You don't want the rope coming up, the sling coming up and across. You want it to sort of cut in. So you find that middle mark, which has got red paint on it, and you make a slot. with a sling, just like a signal. Take it out again. Attach a sling to it. Backfill it. And stomp it down. Here. Stamp that down in there. They're held on this. Let's give that a quick test because I said we would do that. So pulling in line snow or up very slightly, can you try and yark that out?
I tym oto sposobem zbudowaliśmy dwa niezależne punkty obciążenia w śniegu. Teraz trzeba je jeszcze ze sobą połączyć i takie stanowisko można dopiero w pełni obciążyć. Teraz poznamy technikę wyciągania człowieka ze szczeliny, która nazywa się flaszencug. Na rysunku przedstawiona jest podstawowa, najprostsza wersja. Na polskiej stacji antarktycznej używaliśmy dokładnie tego systemu, który pokazany jest na rysunku. I muszę powiedzieć, że sprawdzał się on rewelacyjnie. Zasada działania jest identyczna jak zasada działania wielokrążka. Najprostsza wersja ma przełożenie 2:1, ale Brytyjczycy od zawsze starają się mieć wszystko po swojemu, więc przedstawiona przez nich wersja to 5:1. Czy lepsza? Na pewno bardziej skomplikowana. Ale nie mi to oceniać, ja tu nie jestem autorytetem, zobaczcie sami i ocencie. Jako stanowisko posłuży nam noga modułów stacji. Na początku do stanowiska wpinamy małpę.
What's the next step?
Anti-death knot.
Anti-death knot. And that's our clove hitch, as usual, onto your carabiner. So at this point, you do the stuff that we've been training all day today. You abseil off this one that was round your chest, that's your coil. Check out your mate, sort him out a bit, get him upright, make sure he's breathing and things. Take the gear off his harness, my back up, you get back to your daylight. So your mate can't climb out, so it's time to start hauling him. So we use a 5:1 system. So I'm just holding that for me, that rope. We've got that one just down on the ground. That one coming from the casualty, going through your disaster knot. And then it's 5:1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to be pulling towards Barney or towards the anchor in that direction. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strands. So first things first, that's going round there. If I get rid of this knot and pull it this way, it's going to fall out the back of the G-bar. So I'm going to need something to hold it in line back that way. And that's one of these. Anytime you've got a bend in the rope, you want some way to reduce the friction. Because otherwise, what would normally be a 5:1 pulley, once you think about friction, it's going to go down to 4:1 or thereabouts. And it'll be a lot less pleasant to use, a lot less efficient. These are swing cheek pulleys. The way you attach them to the rope is, rope goes in there, that gets shut, locked to the carabiner. Quick test, yeah, it's working fine. And that is going to go on here. So you can see that once this is removed, that rope's going to run nicely straight along here, through that, and then back this way. So it goes back this way, we've got another bend in the rope. That means another swing cheek carabiner. Rope goes in, that shuts. And this is where we've got your tractor. So that's your clutch. This is your tractor. Remember as well that it will hang that way underneath the rope. When we try and set it up, we try and set it up so there won't be any twists. So go back this way again. And we want something to hold this in this orientation, because otherwise it's going to flop about a bit. And a lot of people seem to forget this one. That's where it goes. Again, it's a swing cheek crab, and it gets clipped into the nose of that dew mark. Back this way again, final turn of the rope, final swing cheek pulley, final crab, and this one we attach not to there but to this bit of string here. And this goes on the rope. Thanks, Seb. Yeah, a bit of tension. So now you can see the system's all set up, ready to go. I usually give it a quick pull to test it. I run through it, following the rope all the way. Then I undo my disaster knot. And anytime you undo a carabiner, it's good to harvest it and have it handy in case you need it. You have to pull it until that slack disappears, so give it lots of tension. There we go, that's pulling nice and straight through there. No tangles in the system, which is always satisfying. And now, for every metre of rope I pull in, Seb will move 20 centimetres. For every 5 metres I pull, Seb will move 1 metre. It's really elegant, really beautiful and simple. Things that can go wrong, you can straight up forget a part of it, but that's obviously disaster and won't work very well. You can sometimes end up with things like this. So this will be clipped in an awkward way, like through here or something. It'll still work, but it'll have a bit more friction in it from the rope rubbing against the rope, and it won't work quite as well. So as far as you can, lay it out on the ground like I showed you. And you'll end up with something like that. When you're pulling it, don't pull slightly to the side like I'm doing. This is just for demonstration. Pull in line with the whole system. So you want to be behind the anchor. If you're struggling to get movement on them, you shouldn't be, but if you are, say it's Big Chief that's in the hole and you're Fieldy Sarah, who is strong as an ox but doesn't weigh more than about 60 kilos soaking wet. Stick a clove hitch on your harness, crawl away by using your feet in the ground. Legs are locked strongly in your arms. Any questions?
Nope.
Cool.
Let's do it.
So
Następnie każdy z nas musiał zmontować takie stanowisko, więc tutaj macie pokazane, jak taki system działa w praktyce. No i to tyle na dziś. Jeżeli ktoś dotrwał do końca, to wnioskuję, że mu się podobało. Mam trochę materiałów związanych z pracą na linach, ale wiem, że jest to dość wąska dziedzina i nie wszystkich może interesować, więc dajcie znać, czy chcecie, żeby dograć coś jeszcze w tej tematyce, czy nie. Na koniec dnia przyszło nam sprawdzić nasze umiejętności w praktyce, czyli każdy wyciągał człowieka z dziury. Trzymajcie się i do następnego.